Vita Loon. I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My extra crunchy Loon.
Yes, some days I feel very crunchy.
You're very crisp.
Well, I know, the starch in this thing.
He's really been starching. So we're doing something really crunchy, which means we're frying.
Yes.
We're in a deep frying kind of mood, and it's that time of the year when we just love it.
Yes.
So we're going to do one of our all-time favorites.
Oh, it's so good.
Let's tell them. We're doing
fried calamari.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, don't you love going to a restaurant that makes a really good batch and you think, wow, I just want to make this at home?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
we're going to show you how to do it. If you don't already know how to do it, it's really simple. It's a lot of fun, and it is just
They are delicious.
delicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Delicious.
Delicious. So let's talk about it. Let's first of all let's
talk squid or no talk. Or
let's talk about the breading first, because then I'm going to tell everyone about this beautiful bowl of deliciousness.
Got it. So we've got some all-purpose flour.
That's 3/4 of a cup.
Yes, we're just going to throw it in here.
Super simple breading.
Then we have
1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon of cornmeal.
Finely ground cornmeal.
And then we have some pepper, baking soda, and that's some salt.
Really, really technical there. So we've got a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. We've got a teaspoon of salt. This could use, we want our breading to have enough salt. And then we've got the baking soda, baking powder.
Baking powder.
So what that does is that just gives it a little bit of extra fluffiness, but a little extra crisp. Okay, he's going to mix that all together.
Yeah.
So now,
and make sure you have enough of it for the amount of calamari.
Yeah, which this should cover. So we've got a pound of squid here. So let me tell you about this. You can find the tubular portions of squid, or calamari, that they a lot of times call it, at a lot of seafood markets, within supermarkets. I find it at Whole Foods, for those of you who have access to Whole Foods. You can also find the little rings in the frozen section. They're really easy to find that way. But what I do is I buy the long tubes, and then I love to get those tentacles too. If you've never, I know they're kind of creepy, but they're really tasty.
Delicious and
crunchy and yummy, and they kind of round out the picture when you serve it. So anyway, I just get and I put that on a cutting board. I cut off the ends, so you've got a nice tube, and then you just cut them into like 1/2-inch rings, okay? And then so you're just going to cut all those up, and then you're going to put them into a bowl, and now we're going to marinate them, and we're going to pour enough buttermilk over them to cover them. And what that buttermilk does is it just really kind of softens the skin and the texture of the, sometimes if you've ever had calamari and it's really rubber, it's like eating rubber band.
Right.
This really helps softens that.
Soften it.
Also, I think it also kind of helps mellow the taste a little bit.
It gets rid of the fishiness.
Yes.
There's not much fishiness to begin with,
not,
but it gets rid of it.
It does. It helps softens it. Okay, it mellows it.
And that's a major thing in my book.
In his book, it's written all over the place. And so what you do, then you're just going to, you want this to chill with the buttermilk for, I'd say, at least 4 hours. You could do this overnight and do it, and then fry these up the next day. But go at least 4 hours. And then what we're going to do is we just want to drain off the majority of that buttermilk. You want to leave some of it so the breading will stick to it.
Adhere to it.
So I just get a colander and I place it over a nice big bowl, or you can do this in your sink. And then you just pour it in and kind of get a spatula or something to kind of help get the excess off. And then dump it back in the bowl that you had. Now, as you can see, there's still some in there, and that's okay.
And here we are.
Here we go. I mean, this is super fast. That's what I love. It's fish and it's frying. So, you're done almost as soon as you get started. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to drop this in there. You can use...
Now, why are you just not using your hand?
Because I'm just showing options.
Okay.
For those of you who don't want to touch it, I understand.
Yeah.
But, just as long as you have clean can hands. My hands are like cans sometimes.
Yes.
And then then obviously you're going to want to wash your hands after you're fondling these.
Of course.
Fish. So sometimes you forget and you go answer the phone.
Well, what this does to your fingers, you have no option but to wash.
So that's a good point. So you don't want to overdo this. You see how it just gets a nice little coating on there, and what's going to happen is when these fry up, they just get crunchy and they build this beautiful little crust. You can help me here, Loon. So don't overdo too much, because then all of this breading in here starts to get really clumpy, and then you're just wasting some of the breading. So do it in bits.
Give it a good up and down and
up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to continue doing this until we're all done, and then we're going to pull out the deep fryer.
Yeah.
And we're going to fry these babies up, and then we eat them. Okay, so we
Yeah.
are breaded and ready to go,
It's
baby.
fry time.
It is fry time. Oh, I love it.
All right.
It's Friday when we're doing this. Anyway, so we went ahead and breaded this. Don't do this too far in advance because it just gets a little gloopy
Yes.
and it doesn't go. So we've got our handy dandy deep fryer here. I have a link
Our
to
favorite thing.
I know we pull it out.
Lately.
I know, and then we never stop using it. But anyway, if you're interested in one of these, I've got a link to it in the blog post. You can also do this in a sturdy skillet, like a cast iron skillet or a Dutch oven. Fill it with enough oil to cover the calamari.
And use a candy thermometer.
Use a candy thermometer because you want 350 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have one of those, you can just check it by tossing in like a little piece of bread or one of these just to sample it.
Nice and toasty.
It should take just a couple of minutes for it to get really nice and golden. If it's too fast, if it happens too fast, it's going to burn. If it's too slow, it's not going to do it quick enough, and then it gets soggy and gross and too full of oil. Okay.
Okay, I have lowered the boom.
Lowered the boom point.
The
Okay, so
bag.
now you don't want to overcrowd these. We're just going to drop these in, and they're going to
Yes.
start doing their magic. Probably you can do up to, I would say, 8 to 12, just depending on how much room you've got. Because if you do too many, it lowers the temperature of the oil too quickly.
I think we got about 8 in there right now.
That's good. All right, that's good. So we're going to let these go there until they're beautifully nice and gold and crisp and
then we're gonna
crunchy.
finish them
And then
all
we're
off.
going to finish them off, and then we eat.
Yeah.
Okay, so jump forward to beautifully fried
Look
calamari.
at
Look at this.
that.
So, okay, it's going to be even more beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Let me tell you. So, Loon, you go ahead and
Yeah.
plate this. So, what we did, you saw us drop that calamari, and it literally only takes 2 to 3 minutes. Keep an eye on it until it gets just nice and crunchy and golden brown like that. What you're going to want to do is then, and you're going to probably want to use like a fork. Sometimes they like to kind of group together and cluster together, and they stick together a little bit. But so use a fork just to kind of keep them separate. Then you're going to want to either, if you're cooking them in a cast iron skillet or a pot, then you're going to want to use like a slotted spoon, something that's heat resistant to the oil. Or if you're using the basket, lift them up, and then you're going to transfer them to a plate that's been lined in paper towels. And then you want to bring your oil back to temperature to get it back to 350, which only takes a few minutes. And then you're going to continue to repeat until you're done.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot, you're doubling this recipe, you can keep them warm in a low temperature oven. They'll stay nice and crispy. And then anyway, you just continue. You're going to do, the last batch, what I would do is I do the tentacles separately because they do cook a little more quickly. You still want them to get that nice brown texture on the exterior. But then look at that. Is that not?
Yes.
I mean, I'm telling you, that's restaurant worthy. Now this, we love to serve this with our homemade marinara sauce. I've got the recipe. Marinara is so classic, and you've had it in your favorite restaurant, Italian restaurants. It's good with cocktail sauce. We think it's great with marinara.
It's
Make the homemade
really
marinara.
good with marinara.
And then we love to squirt a little.
Yeah, well, here, you do your own individual serving.
Oh, do we?
Here,
Is that
I'm
what
going to put some on your plate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this.
Oh, and there's some tentacles.
There's some. I have no problem with the tentacles. At first, I was like, I don't want to eat tentacles, and then you eat them, and you're like, oh, they're kind of crunchy and yummy. All right.
They're good. They taste just like the rest of it.
They really do. I'm telling you, folks. I'm just so excited for you guys to try this. at
Okay, a
home.
little marinara, please.
Oh.
Here, let's put this over here.
Oh, what are we doing? Okay.
No, spoon
You're-
some on.
Oh, well.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
Oh, you're like, okay, spaghetti sauce.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I mean, okay, well, then you can
That's
come over
great.
here and
No,
just
that's
dip it.
brilliant. And I'm going to do.
Actually, I'm just going to dip it.
Go ahead and dip it. You dip. You're a good. You're a dipper.
Look, hold on, I got to put on some. There we go.
Some fresh lemon juice is always a wonderful touch.
Okay, I'm just going to use my fingers and like I'm sitting at the old bar.
Or sitting beachside.
Yes.
Oh, I heard the crunch. I love fried calamari.
This is like popcorn.
I know. All right, talk to us about it. Tell us what you're experiencing. I think we can sense what you're experiencing.
That is so good. I swear, that's like I'm sitting at my favorite Italian restaurant eating fried calamari.
It's so much fun to make these at home.
Oh, and that breading is just perfect.
I think it's the perfect because it still lets the squid sing what you want to do.
Yeah,
But you
and-
still want that crunch.
And that is not rubbery. Like sometimes you go to a place and it's like, wow, you got some really rubbery
You can, like,
calamari.
use
You're
it as a
bite. But this is not. This
What
is
do you
great.
do?
Oh,
okay.
But this is delicious. That is, you know what? It's 100% Loon approved. is what it
Yes.
is.
Okay. All right. I'm digging right in. Oh, God.
It's so. I'm just using this marinara right here,
Go ahead. We're family. That is so good.
and the lemon on there just makes it. Oh,
And that marinara sauce.
yeah.
It really,
Wow, y'all, you need to make this.
I mean,
If you like fried calamari, then you need to make this.
And really don't. I mean, we have like members of our family who are beyond picky eaters, and they love fried calamari.
Yeah, which is so
and
wild.
but I'm like, do you know what you're eating? But anyway, it's so delicious and so easy to make at home.
And you can make it at home by following the recipe from howtofeedaloon.com.
And you can find many more recipes
Yeah.
too. And so go to our social media, like us, share us, do all of that fun stuff.
Please.
Go get yourself some squid
Totally.
and
Cut it up, throw it in some batter,
bread
and
it,
then
fry it, and then have a party.
Yeah. Bread it, fried, have a party. That's words to live by.
I tell you, it's our motto. All right, bye,
Bye,
everybody. We love you
everybody.
so much. I love the tentacles.
Hey everybody!
Hi guys! Now if you want to be a part of the Loon Fun, make sure you subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you won't miss a single recipe.
That's right. Oh, and speaking of recipes, if you want another amazing Italian recipe like this, then just click right here.
That's right. Click, subscribe.
Click. It's so much fun.
subscribe.